Hello, I am Mukti Ananda Ma, and it is now a temple time for you and I. We are gathered in a chamber of consciousness even now, in this exact moment, which is really outside of time. You and I together are exploring what we shall call right now eternal embodiment. An embodiment of an eternal I am, an identity, a chosen identity, chosen by God, which is who and what you are. Today, I would like to explore breaking the trance that we ourselves have designed as individual identities, collaborating on an adventure that I shall call the dawning of enlightenment in a world of death, the dawning of eternal embodiment in the world of death, the dawning of the ninth wave of enlightenment, that which breaks the trance of death in a body as a required and necessary function of the world which you find yourself being in, creating, participating in. And yet now you and all that are heeding this teaching, listening to it, taking it in, and remembering, yes, this is I. This is my destiny, the chosen adventure that I, as an embodying eternal identity, will collaborate and participate in. And so, as you look upon the world and you see the screen of life, the mirror of you, reality, God, as an I am, and see all the people populated from infant to old and aged people in all shapes, both shapes in body and shapes in physical health. And to you, there is a story that is unquestioned, that there is indeed aging. And at every moment, this story plays in the background, that one comes into the world as an infant and exits the world through death, hopefully from old age, but perhaps from sickness or accident. Each year is marked by a thing that's called aging, a descent towards death, a descent in a body that is believed without question that it shall decay year by year. Well, I invite you now to be aware of you as the creator, the one who is choosing its focus on the stories, on the images, on the visions, on the knowings that are available for you to focus on as the one before the I am, the one that is the witness, the eyes, the observer, the experiencer of all I ams and all potential. And from this place, that is still and silent, that knows no limits, that has been the observer and witness through all experiences, from the I am of being an infant, and the I am of being whatever age you are now, as the identity you are now, this observer has always been. Not the I am, but the one identified with being none of it and all of it. And from this place, where every story is linked together to form a movie, to prove a hypothesis, is created. From here we can look, and we see the people populated in the world, and we can change the story. We can see all these as creatures who are embodied in that moment of time, that screenshot, that instant of your reality, and different forms of creatures of the humankind, all looking different as a certain identity, small, larger, full size, youthful, middle age, old age, well, sick, all the variations of you and them in all kind of creature forms. And rather than taking all these snapshots available and making a story, a beginning and end, from infancy to old age and everything in between, we take this moment and say that identity has chosen this creature without a story around it, but just as a moment in time to experience what it would be to be that creature in that form, in that shape, with that look, and nothing more. You are not obligated to put together a timeline from infancy to death. That is a choice. You are choosing that. And you can choose instead a different kind of timeline, a different alpha and omega with a different I am. And as an eternal embodiment, your I am could be something like this. I am ever perfecting, ever experiencing as an eternal I am, recollecting all identities, coming and going as I please, needing no door of death to exit in identity. And right now I choose a youthful and eternal identity that is ever perfecting in its expression of physicality, ever perfecting beauty, ever perfecting energy, ever perfecting life. And knowing that this is the I am that I have chosen, that is the I am of all, meaning all have an opportunity to choose the exact same thing, for what is in the one is in the all. You may look upon now your worlds, and when you see a youthful teenager, which you call teenager, at the beginning of life, the beginning of their journey from life to death, you can now say, that could be, if I allow it, an eternal identity who is 1,000 years old, choosing this form to experience at this moment of time, They know neither birth nor death. In my mind, in my I am. And that changes everything, doesn't it? We are ready now to hear from Aaliyah as a representative of the humanity. Any questions, Aaliyah?
Yes, thank you, Mukti Anandama. I have so many. So it's very amazing, this experience. And I guess for those out there that would ask, I mean, you've elaborated on so much already, but how do we break this trance? It feels very much like a choose your own adventure, and
Yes, it is.
and that one is the observer, and yet there is this trance in this experience. And how does one stay fixated on these wonderful stories? I guess, why does it matter? Why does it matter that one is what one chooses?
Well, you brought up many things in that question. We will begin with the last. Why does it matter? It only matters if it matters to you, if it only matters to the identity which you are wishing to resurrect from the book of life, from all the infinite. If this does not matter to that I am of choosing, if death, the exit through death, is something one wishes to experience, then this new opportunity of a new adventure will be meaningless to that individual I am. So it's mattering only when one wishes to experience this aspect of their own being, eternal embodiment, and how the view and perception of eternal embodiment would differ from the view and perception of one believing oneself to be an immortal body, one choosing to be an immortal body, one choosing to experience reality through the lens of birth to death. Does that answer the question
Yes.
about why is it meaningful?
Yes.
And the other part of the question, remind me?
I was thinking of several new questions, but essentially, in this choose your own adventure, I guess, how do you break this trance?
Is the trance broken now in this moment?
It does feel that, but I guess, let me elaborate on the question. If one is to know thyself and awaken to a new level of consciousness, I guess, how does one pierce through this trance? And is it necessary? I know Melchizedek was saying that in less than 2 years, there will be this shift. And so,
I'm sensing some fear behind this question. How about we bring that to the forefront since
sure,
that is the real question? Make it
sure,
personal.
that's fine. Yeah, I have always felt myself to be the observer, and yet always felt myself to be in the trance. And I guess one never wants to miss the party. And I don't, I know that's not going to be the case, but I say it for myself historically, and also for those that might ask, is there a way to know thyself, to awaken, to know the new stories, the real stories of the identity? I know there are so many, but I guess that, this begs so
Yeah,
many
there
questions.
are infinite possibilities. So, the story that you are talking about is one of infinite. And the chooser is you. You get to choose what story most appeals to you. Can you use your imagination and allow yourself to play beyond the boundaries of your current I am
Yes.
to explore other stories that you find interesting, that you would like to experience?
Let me clarify. I feel like I have chosen the most wonderful story. I couldn't have scripted it better. But I guess I say it also for those out there that are unsure. When you choose your own adventure and you get to the next part and you say, "Ooh, that was the wrong choice." Is
The
there?
choice is made in every moment. You're not obligated to carry out a story you chose the moment before. So in any moment you realize this is not exactly what you want, you choose again. Reality is created every moment, moment by moment. You bring what looks like consistent reality or momentum reality or repeating over and over again is only because you brought all that encompasses that reality in an I am to that moment. When you live from the new I am, the new chosen I am, and we are talking about an eternal identity, an identity that was never born and never died, an identity that can see across the expanse of choices and choose.
Thank you. I guess, the question, of course, is always how does one embody the eternal identity other than in the imagination, in their physical life, unlimited?
Yes, the answer is very simple. You take the HOW, the how, you rearrange the letters, and it becomes WHO, who. It is always the who that creates the how. The who is the alpha and the omega. The I am identity determines the how, determines the arrangements of the pixels on the screen, how the consciousness is illuminated and seen. The I am, the identity, never questions the how because that identity will know the how. It is only the old identity trying to become a new identity that questions the how, which is just evidence that you have not claimed this new identity. For the new identity does never question the how. Do you ask yourself now how to be right now who I am every morning?
No.
The identity is running. There's no question of how do I be me? You are you. And so when you choose, when you understand the power of choice, as a God, as a creator, as an individualized divine aspect of all that is, that this choice of I am is final, is the authority of reality, then there's nothing more to do. The choice is made. And you make it again and again, every moment.
Thank you. That's very specific and helpful. And I would, I guess, drill down a little further. Is there a trick to living in the unknown to break this trance when a people and myself find ourselves in the trance of the limited self?
Well, if you know that you are in a trance, then you've already broken the trance. There's the one that knows they're in the trance, and then there's the one in the trance. So you choose the one that knows they're in the trance and live from that. I am. From that place, you can make a new choice.
Hmm. Um, a very wise being spoke of living in the unknown is the trick, no matter the identity that
The
one is in.
unknown of the how.
The unknown of the how.
The I am identity is always known. I am this, not that. I am an abundant being. I am the chosen one. I am an eternal embodiment in physicality, able to exit any reality at will, any embodiment at will. I am all that I desire to be. I am wholeness. I am ever perfecting love. In that, the how will unfold. The life that you live is the how, and it will unfold on the screen of life, which is all in everything. Every thought, every action, every physical form, every piece of scenery in your life, all the things that go on in your worlds will come from that I am. You are not the I am of a body that you see on the screen of life. You are the I am of the intangible, unseen beingness. The first cause. What is before, prior to, if you will, all that you experience. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I guess freedom from limitation, this always moves me deeply. So this state that we hold.
You don't need freedom from limitation, or if you are living as the I am who is unlimited. Only the I am who believes himself to be limited needs freedom from limitation. If you are holding that, you will experience lots of limitation in your attempts to be free of it. If you are living knowing and I am unlimited, there is no battle between being imprisoned by limitation and seeking freedom. You already are freedom itself. You are the infinite I am, choosing moment by moment.
Thank you. So much to reflect on.
Yes, it is a lot, but it is great and wonderful that the collective, together we have reached this milestone, this pinnacle, if you will, this world paradigm changing reality, a new world, a new world, a new world, not an improved world, a new world, not a better world, a new world where death is truly an option, a door you do not need to exit, for you are now an I am who knows they can travel into any reality they want, into any embodiment they want. And you are having the experience of witnessing the Alpha and Omega, of being an internal embodiment in a world their old identity believed was a world of death only. So we thank you. This is great fun. And I know that I will be seeing many of you. We will be celebrating together in this new world that we are now right in with our consciousness, which is all that is. Thank you.